Reinhard, my friend, welcome. Welcome, and allow me to express our deepest gratitude from all of us at Tor Imports, from all of us in the cigar industry in the United Kingdom, for bringing to us such a unique and special treasure with the cigar world. Today we have with us the Mirafel Richard, which just arrived in the UK to a warehouse in Devon. You flew all the way from Austria, coming here to personally hand deliver these wonderful works of art, this cigar in this chest with this beautiful ashtray that is just something to be witnessed. And this cigar is something else. So today we're in a very special venue as well. I couldn't think of a more appropriate space. We are what many people would call the epicenter, the heart of the cigar world in many ways. At least the British cigar world, that's for sure. We're at the museum at James J. Fox, the oldest cigar shop in the United Kingdom and arguably still in the world, arguably. And we're here together to present to the world and for me to enjoy for the first time the Mirafel cigar, the Richard. Reinhard, from all of us, thank you. Thank you very much for taking the time and being here with us. It's very special to have you.
Ricardo, thank you. Thank you and the entire Tor family, Scott, and all the wonderful people working with you. It certainly means the world to me and to the Mirafel family to be here with you today, with our most treasured partners in the United Kingdom. Most certainly one of the finest and most elaborate cigar markets in the world, filled with history, tradition, and excellence and finesse, like the Mirafel cigar. And so I couldn't think of a more fitting place to celebrate and enjoy the inception of the Mirafel cigar, the UberLuxury in cigars, than the UK, London, and the museum at James J. Fox. It's a privilege for me to be here together with you. We consider you friends and family at Tor Imports, and most certainly with the carefully hand-selected partners here in the UK that we're visiting today to personally hand-deliver those treasured chests, of which only 613 are available globally, to share and embrace a wonderful moment, to share and embrace the humble cigar. Because for me, this is all about time, appreciation, being together, and embracing what goes into every single one of these masterpieces. The Mirafel family has been instrumental for the cigar and tobacco world over 400 years and over 11 generations, dedicating their lives, their time and energy, and their most heartfelt effort to building this unique industry and providing other people the opportunity to experience only the finest. And Mirafel cigar is a tribute to all of that. It is the culmination of those 400 years of history and those 11 generations, cast into a unique experience that defines a new segment in the premium cigar world.
Indeed, you couldn't have said it better, and nobody could. And I know above all, this is an act of love. I know this is a very special tribute. It's not only bringing that legacy that all of us know from the Mirafel family, but bringing that sort of homage on love to Richard, from Jeremiah, from Joshua, from Melissa, from everyone in the family, from yourselves, and all of us, I think, as a tribute from the world of cigars for what he brought to the world. That beautiful Cameroonian wrapper, I think the black gold of Africa in many ways in the cigar world, and what we're tasting today. So for that, already there's a huge depth of gratitude for everything that the family has done, for what you're doing today, coming here, taking the time and visiting with us these unique retailers that will be offering these fantastic cigars to all the cigar aficionados visiting London and beyond London as well. They will be also available in Harrogate. Will be a visit for the future. But aside from that, next to the chair of Sir Winston Churchill in this very special place, it just feels like in many ways we're making history in the cigar world. So thank you very much from the bottom of our hearts for taking the time and joining us on this special journey that we're beginning today. Reinhard, I've had the opportunity in the short journey in the cigar world of always being on the other side of the table, where you come with your ability to host people and ask some very good questions and make us feel at ease and always get the best of your guests. Today we swap the table, we swap chairs, and today allow me to ask you a couple of questions, things that I've had in my mind since the moment I heard about the cigar, curious about different elements, different parts of the history of the stories, and I know people are as well. So if you allow me today, I play the host and you're the guest here in London.
With greatest
Is
pleasure.
that agreeable? Thank you, sir. I would love for you to tell us a little bit more about the inception of this cigar. What led to the moment that we are today in terms of the legacy, the history of the cigar, the family. Let's walk back in time and lead us till today to the birth time, if you wish, of what UberLuxury is.
Walking back in time when talking about the Mirafel family is quite a journey, because it takes us back more than 400 years and 11 generations. 400 years of a family legacy where the previous generations of the Mirafels have shaped the path of the premium cigar and tobacco world. And in order to pay homage and honor that legacy of the Mirafel lineage, it wouldn't be fitting to create just another cigar. When Richard Mirafel, and we're enjoying the Richard Master Blend today, when Richard Mirafel passed away way too early in 2003, Jeremiah and Joshua and Melissa and the family knew that they had to do something very, very particular, something unique to honor this legacy. And at that moment, the family started to set aside precious tobaccos from the family farms in Cameroon with the vision and the idea of one day creating something that will redefine the world of handmade premium cigars and create a new segment in the premium cigar industry. And here we are today with the inception of Mirafel Cigar, defining that new segment, the UberLuxury in cigars. And how do you create something that hasn't been achieved before? It's by merging century-old knowledge, history and tradition with most modern techniques for the future and with modern innovation. Taking every single element, deconstructing what ultimately makes a holistic cigar experience, and taking every single one of these elements to a level thus unknown, by either reinventing it or creating something entirely new and unique, where, as we will discover, some of these elements are just out of this world in terms of what went into it and how you have to put so much time and energy and effort and blood and sweat into all of this to ultimately create an experience that will be enjoyed by the most discerning aficionados all around the world, showcased and presented by a very small group of hand-selected partners to really convey and translate this experience and convey the message and the story of the Mirafel lineage.
That's beautifully put and very deep and very clear as well. I think what the vision was, what the end product is, and at the end the proof is in the pudding. And I have to be frank, I'm enjoying this cigar quite a bit. I love the fact that in many ways they say colliding a coming together of cultures. You have the European culture, the African culture, with the Latin American culture, coming together in the creation of this brilliant cigar.
Ricardo, this is a very important point that you're making here, because you mentioned the European notion and culture. Europe has always been the defining area of luxury and experience is taken to the highest level. If you think about the Swiss horlogerie, if you think about the French and Italian haute couture, if you think about the old European supercars, the Hermès, the Patek Philippe, the Paganis of this world, what they have managed to do is exactly that. To really disassemble and to deconstruct what makes the experience and take every single one of these elements and putting it to a higher level.
Yeah.
A Pagani is a car.
Yeah.
It will take you from A to B.
Yeah.
Similar to a Ford Focus that will also take you from A to B. Yet it's a totally different world. And that is by the experience you will have when you open that door, when you sit in that chair, when you feel the steering wheel, and all these little nuances and intricacies that will convey that this is something absolutely unique. And Europe has been the defining place for this. So I'm so grateful that we sit here in London, in the UK, one of the places that always stood for cigar tradition and heritage at the finest level, at the highest level, with the most discerning people enjoying these masterpieces. And here we are introducing this to the UK market.
Yeah.
And Mirafel indeed is old European legacy and heritage to the extreme. And this we want to bring back to the cigar world and share with the people and make them aware of.
No, it's a beautiful, beautiful trajectory and a moment that has finally arrived. And we couldn't be any happier that it's happening now. It's happening in the United Kingdom, in Great Britain. And as you say, I think bringing that European element into a product that comes from my part of the world. At the end of the day, this is a Latin American tobaccos, but with that enhanced, luxurious European appeal. As my grandfather, the Italian one, used to tell me, look, we're famous for our pastas and our dishes, but we grab the tomatoes from America and we grab the pasta from China, and look what we've done. They've done magic with it. So I think it's that uniqueness, that creativity, that inventiveness, and that style, that exuding luxury and elegance. And again, going back into the basics, and we get into a little bit now, the actual cigar itself and the actual elements inside that chest that we have in front of us. Because ultimately that's what people want to be able to do, is how you get all that heritage, all that knowledge transmitted through a cigar. That's the unique art of cigar making. And what I'm experiencing again today, I'm very, very impressed by the cigar quality.
Furthermore, you mentioned that what the cigar manages to do, like no other product I have ever experienced, is to bring people together and to bring cultures together. The cigar is a uniting, unifying element. It's such a quote-unquote simple, humble product, but it radiates a kind of magic and mystique that I have never experienced with any other product. It brings people together. It reminds us of what's actually important and what matters in life.
Yeah. You are connecting, you're walking in the steps of your forefathers, of the ancestors. So all that ancestry of the Mirafel family, of the forefathers in the Americas who used to, veneer this product, coming together into a moment where we get to enjoy and bring all history into one spot. So it's very special. It certainly is. So you must be incredibly proud to be part of this history, a part of this company, and part of this family coming together. I follow you, and we had an opportunity to meet since the very beginning. I started getting more interested into the cigar world. And I think we've both been attracted by that heritage, that tradition, and that simplicity of the cigar and what it does into bringing people together. So if I may ask you a little bit more now, shall we? So the cigar that we're smoking today, this is the richer as you described, there's a 613 of this chest in the world. It's only a handful of retailers in the UK and less than 100 around the world or so.
Absolutely.
Where aficionados looking for the highest quality and expression of cigars can come and find them in person, not sold online. This is sold at the brick and mortars, which at the end of the day are the backbone of the cigar world, which we're very thankful and grateful for that. So this is a double Robusto, and what I can already tell, and it's something I was looking forward to trying, is an decades age Cameroonian wrapper. I was presented and I was introduced to the Cameroonian wrapper by the Fuente family during my visits to Dominican Republic. In fact, the first factory I visited Dominican Republic was the Fuente family. Now, trying it in this style, where it has that aging, that care, and being aged in Europe, which is unique as well. I think in many ways, the aging it in a different environment, those create a different sort of profile, and that's what I'm identifying at this stage. I can only compare it to what it is, to Cameroon, to a Cameroonian wrapper. I can feel that. It's in the smell, in the touch. You have that texture, you have that color, the toothiness, but there's something else. You know, whilst it is to me at least a medium full body cigar, it does not leave you indifferent. I can feel that presence straight away. Perhaps the aging of the tobacco is sort of diffusing all around my palate, and it's kind of embracing the whole. So instead of going to a specific part, even in the retro, it is a harmonious coming together of Cameroonian wrapper at its best. So I'm genuinely impressed, and I was looking forward to trying that. But tell us a little bit more, please, about the cigar and elements that you wish to highlight to cigar lovers, to aficionados who will be looking forward to trying the richer.
When the family started setting aside tobaccos specifically for this unique MEERAPFEL cigar project, after Richard MEERAPFEL had passed away, you know, we're talking about 20 years of aging on these particular tobaccos, all of which adorn and dress those beautiful cigars. Aged under very specific conditions in Europe, as you said, in the MEERAPFEL vaults. Like the cigars after they've been assembled also age and rest in the MEERAPFEL vaults in Europe. So there's where you get some of those unique aromatic qualities. I always describe it as ethereal in its elegance, in its complexity, with the richness that it delivers, but still in a most refined way, almost like a beautiful handwriting. These gorgeous notes of frankincense and myrrh, with a lovely combination of spice, sweetness, taken to a whole new level in this master blend. It is the reflection of the miracle of Cameroon, the miracle of UberLuxury, the miracle that Richard dedicated his life to. But it's also met with all the surrounding elements that ultimately create a holistic experience. Because a cigar is never just a cigar. It's so much more than that. The history that we spoke about, the uniting element of bringing people and cultures together and merging tradition and history, the past with the future, but also to deliver and convey a holistic, mesmerizing experience. And so all these elements that you find here, like the beautiful cigar rings with countless numbers of gold and silver manufactured into what resembles Belgian lace. That beautiful texture and that beautiful pattern that you see here on the master blend. Every single master blend has a unique pattern. In this case, the African gold, the tobacco leaf that you can see on the ring. The relief effect, the holographic nature of it. The ring itself has been years in the making with one of the finest gentlemen in his craft of printing, John van Tintelen in the Netherlands,
Okay.
who said this was the most incredible project for him to work on. Also the most painful in a certain way
Yeah.
to make the impossible possible. But here we are enjoying and embracing it.
I mean, the texture is just incredible. I mean, you caress this, and I love the fact that you can see the cigar through the whole motif that's been created. It's absolutely gorgeous.
And to get a glance of the wrapper leaf that's
Exactly.
underneath and see that lovely toothiness, the goosebumps of the African Cameroon. Authentic, genuine Mirafel Cameroon. Or to give you another example, the ribbon that is used on all of our chests, hand tinted in Paris by one of the oldest craftsmen. There's very few people in the world who still do these things. And that is another element of the creation of the UberLuxury, is to preserve some of these incredible elements of craftsmanship that are almost not feasible anymore in today's day and age. But we want to preserve that heritage, and we want to preserve that old European craftsmanship because it is so important and there's so much meaning behind it. The wood that is used for
Which
our
has an incredible
chests.
aroma, I have to say.
Absolutely.
I mean, the even the chest itself, the color and the rustic element to it is incredibly attractive. When you contrast it with the ashtray, it's just beautiful. But the whole concept is incredible.
Named the royal wood in Japan,
Okay.
Paulownia,
Polonia, okay,
which is a very fast growing wood.
okay.
So it provides us with the unique opportunity to create these boxes with no deforestation, which is very important to the family to also produce in the most sustainable way to build on for future generations.
Brilliant. That's really important. So it's bringing the rescuing, in many ways nurturing, preserving the craftsmanship, taking from nature, but in a prudent, in a careful, and a nurturing way in that sense. Which I think that speaks volume, I suppose, in many ways of the ethos and the philosophy of the Mirafel family, and looking back in history, the trajectory, and looking into the future, not as a quick win, but as a whole journey of coming together and keep on growing and developing.
And stories need to be told,
Yeah.
important stories.
Yeah.
And that's what we try to do with this project. But that's also the exact reason why we are so careful and specific with hand selecting our partners in order to convey that experience. And we want to provide them with all the tools and with a unique experience. So the attention to detail and the service that we want to bestow upon all our treasured partners is a crucial element of the inception of the UberLuxury. Because to create an experience, again, takes all these elements and surrounding factors into consideration. There's very particular pairing recommendations for each and every one of our master blend. We even went as far as creating a Spotify playlist
Wow.
to go along with every one of our master blends.
It's a proper immersive experience. It says from the profile of the cigar, the smell, the taste, the views,
visuals,
the sounds, the whole.
the auditive
Incredible.
experience, and then you can embrace the full picture and enjoy art in all its intricacies and details.
So it's not only the art of cigar making, but in many ways also the artistic element of enjoying a cigar at its highest expression.
The art of the experience.
The art of the experience. I love that. Brilliant. Cool. So that's kind of part 3 in a way. I think we went into the cigar a little bit more. We did the inception, a little bit about the cigar.
Go straight into its recording.
Reinhard, not only the flavor profiles are extraordinary, the cigar, but I have to say the construction is exceptional. The way that ash has been burning for the time that we've been here, and the way it's maintained its shape and the color and the texture is just incredible. Now, from my understanding, in terms of the origin of the factory or the manufacturing of the cigar, this goes back to the first place in the world where Europeans were exposed to tobacco, which is the Dominican Republic. So this is Dominican Republic manufacturing in terms of the cigar itself. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Could you tell us a little bit more about the cigar itself and what else is within the portfolio in addition to the Richard, please?
So, indeed, you're absolutely correct. The cigar is manufactured in the Dominican Republic, dressed in and adorned by the genuine Mirafel Cameroon, vintage Cameroon leaf. And as you can expect with a project as important, as special as Mirafel Cigar, the family is working with the finest craftsmen and women in the industry and working with the most precious, most delicately aged tobacco leaves. So in terms of the blend and the origin, we're not going into all the specifics. Not that it's not important, it is the essence of what we're enjoying and sharing here. Yet at the same time, again, it's about the holistic nature of the project, and that's what we want to put forth, and that's what we want people to enjoy. So every single cigar lover and cigar aficionado out there can trust and rely on the Mirafel family with 400 years of history and 11 generations to only work with the best people in this industry and the finest tobaccos available. All in all, there will be numerous master blends,
Okay.
each paying homage to one of the Mirafel family generations.
Okay.
We're enjoying the Richard at this very moment. Our second revelation will be the Meer master blend. We were talking about the inception, we're talking about Genesis. In respect of the first Mirafel cigar factory, started in 1876 in Untergrombach in Germany. And throughout those various master blends, you will see traditional vitolas, everything at a ring gauge of 52 and below,
Okay.
because that's when the true nature of the wrapper, the most precious part of the cigar, the genuine Cameroon from the Mirafel family can shine and express all of its beauties and complexity. So people can expect traditional vitolas that we want to bring back and that we want people to enjoy, like a Corona Gorda,
Okay.
a Robusto, like a Pyramid, a Churchill,
Okay.
a Lancero,
Okay. So these are all the
like a
different ideas.
Lonsdale,
Okay.
or the double Robusto in the 5 3/4 by 52 that we're enjoying at this moment, crowned with the beautiful pigtail and presented in this very format of 10 cigars put on the ceramic casket into the wooden chest. The other vitolas will be presented in a pristine 25 count wooden chest with all the cigars lying next to each other. And immediately upon opening those chests, you're met by that signature aroma and that beautiful smell that you experienced when we opened the chest.
Absolutely, I have to say. I mean, so this beautiful, product box was all closed, and this had a little bit of a. Well, it was wrapped basically to preserve the essence. That as soon as we opened it, the smell. I looked at you for a moment. I thought, hold on, this is unique. I mean, and it was the smell of the Cameroonian tobacco, just singing, just really coming to your nose and really, really being incredible.
Yeah.
So the Meer, which is something the British cigar aficionados can look forward to as the next launch that we're going to be doing here with COO Tor Imports and with our good partners here in the UK. Is that a smaller cigar in terms of the length of the vitola, if I'm not mistaken?
There will be numerous vitolas within the
Within
Meer
the Meer.
master
Okay,
blend as
okay.
well.
Brilliant.
So every master blend
Yep.
will have the same traditional 7 vitolas.
Got it.
And every one of those vitolas will be limited in production.
Yep.
Because obviously there's only so much of such a precious and delicate leaf and all these surrounding elements. So you can rest assured that every vitola will have a yearly limited production of 613 boxes available globally.
And each new release will capture and express a different sort of profile in many ways, right? I mean, there will be the element of the Cameroonian wrapper, potentially, in many of them, but then each one will transmit a different feeling, a different emotion, a different style, if anything.
Which is, again, perfectly linked to the history and the profile or characteristics of that particular generation, and thus become another storytelling element of conveying the legacy of the family.
As you said, good stories need to be told, and there's no better way of doing it as such in this fashion. So the Richer, I understand, it's a homage to Richer, father of Joshua, Melissa, and Jeremiah. The Meer, the name, where does that come from?
Mirafel,
Yes, okay.
the great-great-grandfather who started the first Mirafel cigar factory in 1876.
Understood.
And then further down the road, you can already look forward to the revelation of our Ernst, Master Blend, and Heller.
Brilliant. No, we're very, very excited to see. I mean, starting from today, the enjoyment, the pleasure that this cigar has given me. It's a genuine and delightful moment that we've had together. For me, ultimately, it's about being able to connect with the cigar. I know cigar makers are artists. They're just artists that they don't know how to write a poem. They don't know how to sing a song. To identify the best vehicle to transmit their love, their passion, their artistry, their emotions is through a cigar. And I think I'm feeling that in this cigar here. I can feel the legacy. I can feel the love that's behind it. I can feel that it's an act of love and a homage to Richer from their children and from the whole family. So you've been entrusted with a big task, Reinhard. But I couldn't think of somebody better in doing so. At least from our point of view, being simply the conveyor, the middle man in helping people enjoy the cigar. I can foresee people being very curious and hopefully appreciate as much as I have. I'm sure as much as you have, and everywhere around the world where already people are starting to enjoy this wonderful cigar. So for the UK specifically, what do you foresee? What is your expectation? What's your aspiration for this cigar in the United Kingdom, which I know London in particular, it's very close to your heart. You spend a lot of time here, you forge yourself and your knowledge of immersive experiences in this city. So what are your thoughts? What are you envisioning? What do you hope for?
As you said, I was fortunate and blessed to live and work here in London, consider it my second home. And I know that the UK is a very particular, unique market when it comes to cigars. And people in the UK and London in particular expect nothing but the finest. And they need to be treated with experiences that are mesmerizing, meaningful, and memorable. And I think this is exactly that. So I have nothing but the highest expectations of MEERAPFEL Cigar being incredibly well received by all the treasured and trusted aficionados here and our partners. And again, it's a privilege to be working with you and with those hand-selected partners to convey the story. And we all have a tremendous responsibility as part of this industry, as part of this journey with MEERAPFEL Cigar, to keep the flame alive, to keep the fire burning, and to do things the right way. Because in today's day and age, it is all too tempting and it's all too easy to take shortcuts, to do things for a quick win, a little success, a quick buck here and there. But to go back and to do things the right way, because it's important to preserve the things that have always been there and that have always been correct and the right way to do it. That's what the MEERAPFEL family always stood for. Certain values and principles are unconditional, and they have always been in the MEERAPFEL lineage. And we need to nurture that flame and preserve those experiences. But not only dwell in the past and rest on former laurels, but to constantly challenge the status quo and always think ahead of how can we do better? What can we do differently whilst respecting the history and where we come from. And as we said in the beginning, to preserve tradition, but also merge it with innovation and the most important techniques and elements for the future, to bring all of that into the future.
No, that's beautifully put, and ultimately it's that, right? I mean, this is in many ways, it's as authentic as it gets. It has a beautiful aura and a beautiful dress, but ultimately the content, the quality speaks for itself in many ways. So I'm looking forward to this journey. I'm looking forward to the British audience, not only in London, but across the whole United Kingdom, across all the British Isles, to be able to enjoy the cigar. Personally, highly recommend that. I'm genuinely impressed by the quality, the profile, the flavor, and the experience that is created. This is one of the most enjoyable conversations I've had all year, and if not in my personal experience. So thank you so much for taking the time, for flying from Austria, coming to London, who went from -3 degrees to 14 degrees now. A lot of rain outside, but here you are, and we're very grateful for that. And we can only foresee success if people are able to understand what you're trying to achieve, which I personally have been able to understand it. So thank you very much for that. Any final message to our partners or cigar lovers before we call it a wrap?
Well, again, I can only express my gratitude, how grateful I am to be sharing this with all of you. The importance and what it means to all of us, to the family, and to me personally, the responsibility that I mentioned. And to make people realize that luxury is comprised of so many different elements, and it's about a hedonistic moment of taking time for ourselves, taking time for a wonderful conversation, being in company of the people who are very dear and close to our heart, and not just to create something that is flashy and shiny and shimmering and to put a certain price tag to it. But again, it's about going into all these elements and details and sharing and embracing a moment that is worth remembering and that is worth sharing.
Indeed, it is worth sharing and it's worth treasuring. So I've treasured this conversation.
Thank you, Ricardo.
I look forward to welcoming you again here to the UK for the next releases that will be coming soon. And everyone, I invite all to come and enjoy this wonderful product here, JJ Fox, and at the many other hand-selected partners in the UK and around the world who will be keeping and treasuring this product for everyone to come and enjoy. So, Reinhard, thank you very much. Much appreciated.
Thank you very much, Ricardo. It's my
Thank you.
pleasure and privilege. Thank you.